Hello everybody, Christopher here. It's 11:30 at night. Got my flashlight ready. Fed the fish. So I got some basil here. One went dry for a day or so, so it's a little wilted, but all the other ones are okay. So I had one espresso. So I haven't been using my espresso machine at all. I've been using this little guy here. So that's what I do lately. So, but this is an espresso. This is 8 o'clock coffee or so. Ground beans when I get a coffee grinder for herbs and stuff. So that's that. So last night or yesterday late or so, I made a neighbor a garden. Put some compost in there and cleared the grass, topsoil, and did some things over there. So I did that. So I'm gonna take you in the garden. I gotta dig up a lemongrass and chop it up and process it and harvest it. And it's a big project. There's a couple left I gotta do, but alright guys, should be good. Keep you updated. Alright ladies and gentlemen, Christopher here. So we're in the garden. I got my tools and everything ready, bags and stuff. Knife. Alright, so this lemongrass was big. It was big. I basically dug it out of the ground, chopped it off with a knife, which we'll see. I put it over my head. It'd probably weigh 80 pounds or something like that. Not 80 pounds, but I put my own compost at the bottom of this. Cow manure, compost store-bought, and peat moss, and the soil that I dug up, I use that to mix, and then I put mulch. So that's so much growth. Basically, the way lemongrass grows, the root itself is the lemongrass. So technically I could have cut it back even more, but the next one I do, I'm gonna probably cut it back up here rather than cutting it so low. But yep. Alright guys, let's go look at the ones that I'm gonna get cut. Alright ladies and gentlemen, we're here at the one I'm gonna do. So it basically propagated itself. It doesn't spread like a vine like mint, but one root stem stalk will turn into many. And so there's not very many snakes in my garden. The lemongrass repels them, so I don't have to worry about that. There are leeches, land leeches. They're not very big or anything, but you get the picture. Alright, so see that? That's roots. That could grow a new whole shoot. But I'm not going to worry about that. Now, when I first started the garden, I planted 3 lemongrass. So this is the oh my goodness, it might be the oldest. So I'm going to get in here. I got to go all the way around with the shovel to uproot it because it's got a root bulb. The first one I did of these was I dug it up and I separated it. And I planted it in pots, but that wasn't really good. I disturbed a lot of the root system. The one I just showed you, I kept it a bulb of root, so yep. They say about every year or two you're supposed to separate them and regrow them, but should be good to try, guys. Alright guys, here, let's go up a little bit. Okay, so all the seeds pods up there, my flashlight, I don't keep it on bright or I run it dead. Rechargeable Duracell batteries. So I just throw the seeds behind my compost bins, and if they grow, they grow. Never had luck with that. But we can harvest all these stems. They do die back, but should be good to try. Not try, but these are good for mulch. The browns, even the greens, but mostly the browns. You get a lot at the bottom. So I'll chop it off, pick it on my shoulder, and should be good. A lot of earthworms and stuff like that in the ground, so it should be good. Alright guys, just a quick thought and tip. Always wear gloves when you're handling lemongrass and a long sleeve. I went through here and harvested and cleaned up all the around. I don't wear sleeves. I wear gloves, but man, did they cut me like paper cuts all my arms. They're all healed now, but yeah. And I picked these gloves out at Home Depot. They were out a bunch, but I found these ones by the cash register, the leather. They do dye your hands a little yellow, but definitely a lifesaver. Should be good. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. There's the big, well, big girl, big boy, whatever you want to call it. So I do have grubs in my soils. It's just the way nature works. Then this one came out a lot easier than the last one. So I'm gonna take this over to my glass table over there and give it a good hack right there with the, I don't know what type of knife it is. It's the kitchen knife. And they are mine. And then all this I'll put in a bag or compost it or something like that. It's good for mulch or not, or carbon material for the compost heating up or something. Now I'll tell you, I didn't lift it up yet, but this is very heavy. I'll try to remove as much soil. Alright guys, I'll show you when I get it over there. Alright ladies and gentlemen, here it is. The lemongrass. It's mostly stalk. When I cut it all back and process it, I'll get 2 bags of stalks, I say. Cut as I say. Okay. There's my knife. I don't know if this is the correct knife, but it's sharp. It has a rigid blade. Try some earthworms and grubs, and not so many grubs, but earthworms. Here's a pot of something. Okay. So look at this, guys. Wait a minute. That's all. No, never mind. Lemongrass, good for teas. And when I get to that seeds, I just throw that in the compost behind it. If it grows, it grows. But you can just see how big it is. Alright guys, should be good. Alright guys, here it is. So you could go in there and cut in between and plant separate zones or whatever. What I found is it's easier just to plant the whole thing over again and plant it deeper. So it was down here. I could actually cut up here and there still would have been roots, but cut up here, plant it way down here, and all that will turn into green growth and roots again. I'll put compost and mulch and peat moss and refertile the soil and water it in. Alright guys, let's go over here. I got my glove off because, yeah. Man, it's blurry, Chris. Why is it so blurry? Alright, so basically I just went right down but technically you could plant all that. So when I clean it and take all, and you can plant all this, guys, if you wanted to. Might get some of the neighbor, who knows. So have that stuff, a lot of that. Usually get a lot every year, once a year or so. You do a deep cleaning. What is that? Speaking of smoking cigarettes, I quit cigarettes July 7th. I quit, so it's been a couple of months. So it's always good. But I think this is the first lemongrass I bought, maybe. There were 9, so 1, 2, 3, 9, 8, 7. So 6 left of these to do. I'm not going to do it tonight, but got my cutting board, my knife ready. So got my bucket over there and put the scraps in. Alright guys, keep you updated. Alright guys. So I cut that one, and then on top of here, this was there. So there's still roots. That just shows, I'm pretty sure this was the first lemongrass I planted. Last lemongrass I dug out, that was one of the last ones I planted, not the last one, the second last one. So it wasn't as established. But, so I get 3 of them. This is the bigger one, I think. Or even, or so. So, those would be good additions. I could go in there and pull out all this stuff, but it won't hurt anything. So, some of them won't grow from here, the stalks, most of them will. But all the new growth will come up from the roots. Which I'll show you here is when you grow lemongrass. Now, where is it, Chris? Right here. So all you need is the I call it a rhizome, it's not a root crop, but all you need is that, and then all green shoots will come off from these, so the roots. That was just from getting water and You know, my basil did that too. Grow roots on the stem, but so that's the debris is pretty stuffed. You can stuff a lot. Over here, that's what I'll do. What I did before is I'll get the knife, cut 6 inches or so of pieces, put one pile of stalks, one pile of leaves. Yeah, and then once I get up to here or so on the plants, I'll just throw that behind the compost bins and let it decompose or what have you. So what I'm gonna do now is get because I'm gonna get these planted and then I'll take care of the harvest. So I'll get some compost and stuff all around the plants, take a deep hole. I'm thinking about to right there, so alright guys, should be good. Alright guys, so I took my compost from my compost bin and I put it in bags that I bought soil in, and then I put it about a week ago in here just to dry out a little bit because they were saturated in water. Whew. So that's all compost. The tops on the tops wouldn't dry out. So I'm gonna use that. Got some cypress mulch, some peat moss, cow manure. I don't think I'm gonna use the topsoil, but we'll see. A deep hole. Alright guys, should be good. Oh yeah. Papayas. No bananas. Alright guys, so planting banana next to papaya is good for the water for the papaya roots. They don't like wet feet, it says. So by planting a banana, it uses lots of moisture and stuff. It uses a lot of water up. But the problem is it uses lots of nutrients. The papaya and the bananas get yanked out of it. But you won't get diseases, root rot and stuff. You plant banana, I don't know. Just a thought. Alright ladies and gentlemen, it's all done. I did the same one like this, and the other one was little, but this was big. Compost from decaying matter is in there. Black gold, cow manure compost, native soil, and peat moss, and I put mulch on top. If I didn't mulch, all this soil around would be washed downhill, where all water goes that way. But now the thing is just to wash it in. I'm gonna take a break before I start I call it processing of the lemongrass. But all right guys, should be good. What's up guys? So I took a break real quick, and I'm back at it. I think it's like 2:30 a.m. whatever. So this is how I've been harvesting lemongrass. There's not much foliage, but the stalks are sufficient. I'm gonna put, well, let me use the other hand, but the phone's using my, yeah, well. So that'll come all the way down the stalk or the leaf. Very strong stuff. Yeah. So I'm just gonna take one by one, cut it about that long or so. I haven't tried this knife. Last time I used I used this knife. And yeah, I don't know how many stalks we got, but I'll freeze it. Alright guys, keep you updated. Alright guys, so here we are, or here we have. I fill up 2 bags. I'm gonna double bag them, but just to show you. Anyways, so a gallon size bag, full to the brim. Well, not full to the brim, I throw it out. But they're good for tea or seasoning stews or something like that, or curries or something, Indian or something like that. Quite a bit there. This is I got a little more than last time, but it's about the same. I filled up 2 bags last time. Now off to the other lemongrass. That's a little different. I have to cut it in smaller pieces and then put it in the bags, and should be good guys.